Haha! Like Stephen Bartlett, I come wearing the same clothes again. No, it's not purposeful. To be fair, it's just late, and I'm in the mood. Oh, oopsie! I'm in the mood for creating multiple episodes. But then the secrets of a podcaster. I'm gonna do an episode on podcasting, and then I'll tell you how it all works from my experience of what I've done. But today's episode number something, in case I change the order, this episode is on how I became a fiancé. Why am I doing an episode on how I became a fiancé? Well, it's because it was unusual and different, and I'd like to share that with you. So, becoming a fiancé, here we go. Go back to my children's notes board. I've changed it now. Firstly, me and my now wife had been together for a little while, and my ambition, my aim was to finish university and then propose to her. That took a while. When I was close to finishing, I went to her mum and dad's house and I asked for her hand in marriage. And her dad said, no. Her dad said, excuse me, cough. Her dad said, finish your education and then we can see. So, a while later, I went back and I said, excuse me, Dad-to-be, can I marry your daughter now? And he said, yes. He said, you've done everything that you need to do, now you can propose. Problem. How do you propose? How do I propose? What do I do? I had a plan for earlier on because I thought he'd say yes, and that went out the window. So then I thought, what do I do now? How do I do it? And everyone goes through it. But my predicament was that, one, I had no money, and two, I couldn't go abroad because we couldn't do that yet. That was just our choice, and we want to respect our family's wishes, and that was not an option. No overnight stays, no holidays abroad. Had to be UK, had to be all done within the day on a budget of minimal cost. How do I do it? How do I make this special person who I love entirely, been together for a while, how do I propose to her in the most special way possible of all time? Right? That was the task I set myself. How do I do it? So, first, being broke festers creativity. I tell you. I had to think outside the box. So, sat down on my PC and I thought, what can I do on a budget of 0 to minimal budget money? Right. Googled special events. What's going on around me? What's going on around the country? What can we do? Where can we go to and come back within the same day? After about 5 minutes of searching, oddly enough, I came across. Now, before I say this, my wife, she had a nickname, Queen V. And so I started to Google random words, looking for an event, and I found out that Buckingham Palace were doing open days for a few weeks. And I thought, Buckingham Palace doing an open day, what's the cost of that? Looked into it, and I think the ticket price was about £23 or £27 for one person. Mind blown. I thought, yep, that sounds perfect. That sounds really good. But then that thought immediately hit me in my head, and I thought, oh, I would have to propose in front of a lot of different people that I don't know at Buckingham Palace, and that thought was scary, really scary. But I thought, can't get better than the Buckingham Palace, right? I'll have to do it, no matter what. I'll have to do it. But am I going to get arrested? So I need to ask them if I can do it and what's going to happen if I do it, because it's Buckingham Palace. You can't treat it like a normal place. So I contacted them and I said, look, this is my idea. This is what I'm thinking of doing. This is who I'm with and why. Gave them the story of about everything. And then they emailed me back and said, yeah, you can do it. Come on down. Wow. So then it was a case of making sure I had the ring, which I what did I do again for the ring? I think I got paid a student loan and I just spent it all on the ring. So, and it maybe even went into my overdraft. So, yeah, broke. But then it was a case of booking train tickets in advance, trying to get her there under false pretenses, um, to surprise her on the day. So, hatched a plan for some friends, mutual friends, to come with us for one of their birthdays, I think it was. Managed to convince her to come, to go, managed to get there. And then I was able to network with the people that worked at Buckingham Palace to share who she was, who I was, um, look out for the cues, where we can do it, when's the right time. And then, to my surprise, no cues were given throughout the whole tour. And I thought, okay, what's going on here? This is supposed to be where it happens. I don't know what's going on. So we got all the way to the end of the tour. If you've been on the tour, at the end you go to the big garden area, and they've set up stalls where you can have tea and coffee and cakes. And then just as I got there, and I was confused and thinking, oh my gosh, I might have to propose out here now in front of everyone having coffee and cake. My friend called me back, and then they said, oh, there's something over there that you need to see that you've missed. And then the staff was saying, yeah, come this way. And then we were escorted to a room within Buckingham Palace, and then they gave me the wink or the nod, and they said, basically, this is where you can do it. And they gave us our own private room at Buckingham Palace for me to propose to my now wife. Wow. More than I could ever have dreamed of. It's priceless. You can't pay for something like that. It was so special. So that's where I proposed, and that's where we had an amazing moment, a priceless moment, even though I was broke. And it's up until this day, many years later, nearly 10 years being married actually, we still think about it and we still talk about it. And I think we would never have got that same kind of buzz or enjoyment had we had money, had we had the ability to go abroad, anywhere in the world, spend a week together, just us, and propose in that way. It wouldn't have been as special. And I think, going back to the original first point, being broke festers creativity. So I would encourage everyone to think like you're broke. And then you might get inspired and come up with some great ideas. And who knows, ask ChatGPT and see what that comes up with, because I asked them to provide create an email for me asking my manager if I could time off work for being sick, just as an example, not because it was real. And I selected the option for it to be humorous, and it was amazing. A fantastic story about being abducted by aliens and needing to save the universe, and so I needed a day off. Something like that. It was crazy. I love it. And my final thoughts are just do it. Just give it a go. Try it out. See what happens. And if you can't propose on the day because of something going wrong, you're just too nervous, no problem. Just try again. So this is the episode. This is my story to you of becoming a fiancé, and I hope you enjoyed it. So until the next episode, where I might still be looking the exact same way, see you there. Thanks.